Still Wakes the Deep is a horror game made by British developer The Chinese Room, and it's set on a Scottish oil rig in 1975. I don't often see my country in video games. If the setting is in the UK, it's usually in London or sometimes a quaint little English country town, and I'm excited to see more developers dive into the locales, vibes, and folklore one can find around our very damp, dour islands. The most recent game to take place in Scotland that I can think of is Highland Song from last year, and then it rapidly peters off to Dear Esther in 2012, levels from racing games, levels from fighting games, and games from the 90s. The others don't get much better. Wales has Chasing Static as its most recent example that I can think of off the top of my head, and then it's mostly racing game levels, while Ireland's most notable game that I can think of is Clive Barker's Undying, and then a bunch of racing game levels. You may be thinking, what do you mean your country? You sound American. I constantly moved country growing up, so my accent is all over the place, but my parents are Scottish, and I've been living in Scotland for over a decade at this point, so it's my home and I like to see it represented. Anyways, the offshore oil rig depicted in Still Wakes the Deep is caught up in one of the North Sea's brutal storms, which is a perfect mix for both claustrophobic industrial environments and the icy, unforgiving churn of the ocean. I have a distinct love-hate relationship with the sea, as I used to be a very avid swimmer and was fine in the ocean until about 10 years old, where I put my head under the water and saw a massive coral structure that looked like a brain beneath me. For whatever reason, that flipped a switch in my head and I've been unnerved by the sea ever since. Curiously, that didn't make me lose my fascination with it, so I feel perfectly positioned to enjoy ocean-based horror. But it needs to hit the right notes for my brain to really light up, and Still Wakes the Deep seems to be aiming for exactly what I'm after. Whatever you want to call it, Lovecraftian, eldritch, cosmic horror fits so well with the ocean because we are simply not built for it. We can't breathe down there or swim remotely fast enough to get away from things that may do us harm down there. A storming sea will mercilessly throw you overboard and suck you down beneath the waves like a sock in a washing machine. It is a force of nature, and it does not care that you are in the way. But I think the thing that really freaks our brains out is not being able to see that well underwater. The light fades into this endless blue veil in all directions. You don't know what's out there, and you likely won't see it coming before it's too late. And in that unknowable terror, we can imagine all sorts of beautifully wretched things. So I can't wait to learn more about the mysterious presence infesting the oil rig. Still Wakes the Deep will release on the 18th of June for the PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and Epic Games platforms. Thank you for watching, and special shoutouts to my supporters on Patreon who are all very handsome people. Don't forget to drink your water, take your medication, treat yourselves kindly, and I will see you all next time.